How are ya? Are you all good? Yeah? So it is Throwback Thursday, but actually before we get into the exciting bit and have a really good chat and we start hooping and I don't know what's going on my hair this morning, hold on. And before we have a good chat, let's just remember, so Throwback Thursday, 11th of September 2001, the 9/11 attacks. Do you remember where you were when that happened? So, you know, like with time goes so very fast, and dates, you remember certain things, like generally you can remember where you were on birthdays, weddings obviously, anniversaries, stuff like that, and births of your children, but do you remember where you were during the terror attacks? Now I remember being at my mum's, my littlest child was 1, and I remember sitting there with her and it was on the telly and I was like, what are you watching? This film is really depressing. And she was like, Emma, it's not a film, it's the news. And I was like, what, this is real? And you know where something is so bad that you think it's got to be a film because that could never happen in real life? That's where I was. I was at my mum, I was in Swanscombe, so I was in Swanscombe Street, sitting there with my little baby, my little Ben who was 1, watching that on the news and being absolutely, you know, you just couldn't look away because it was so horrifying. You just couldn't get your head around it. So my question to you today on Throwback Thursday is, can you remember where you were in 2001, so 24 years ago today, and where were you when it unfolded? Did you see the news? Did you see it live on the news as such as it was unfolding? Did you hear about it later? Were you like me, you were in so much shock, you couldn't actually believe that it happened or that it was real? So that was quite a sobering start to this. So how I'm going to turn that around is, that's a horrible, horrible thing, and I can't believe 24 years on, that is as raw today. I think those images you see are just awful. But what I want to say to you is, we're here today, 24 years on, living our lives. The time has gone so fast. Some of you can remember that 24 years ago, and here we are standing here today, 24 years on. So my message to you today is, if you're putting off getting fitter and healthier, making a start, don't do it, because where has that 24 years gone? Just like that. And those poor people went to work that day, whatever they were doing, thinking that they had probably, like most of us, all the time in the world, and they didn't. So my message to you today is, don't put it off. So I'm going to stick with this because otherwise it's going to get really heavy. So don't put it off. Get fit and healthy. Come and join me. Project You starts in 2 more sleeps. So maybe you've been seeing me talking about Project You, the Women's Health and Fitness Strengthening Project. And maybe you thought, I don't know, maybe this is your sign to come and join me. Anyway, enough of that, because that was a little bit heavy, but I tried to turn it around and put it in a positive. Let's hoop. Should we hoop? Now, it's really funny. I always think nobody's watching me. And then quite often someone says to me, I've been watching you hooping, Emma. I'm like, oh, that's great. I'm so glad. But could you just drop me a little, a thumbs up or a love heart or a hi? Just let me know you're there. Because to be honest, I stand here and sometimes I think, oh, look at me, the nutter, just whittling on. No one's ever listening. And it turns out that actually people are. They just don't ever say they are. So give me a little thumbs up, a little love heart, a little emoji, a little hello, or anything. Or hopefully you might even answer me. Right at the beginning, I said to you, where were you 21 years ago today when the horror of 9/11 was unfolding? Can you remember where you were when you found out about it? So talk to me. I'd love to know. I don't want to just talk at you. I'd love to know where you were, if you remember it, blah, blah, blah. All right? But anyway, let's go with the hoop. So here is my weighted hula hoop. Loads of you asked me what this is. This is a Power Hoop Deluxe from a company called powerhoop.com. I can give you a link to it. I used to be able to give you 10% off, but they've took it away. Don't get that anymore. But if you want the link, I can give you the link though, because these are fantastic. When you step into your hoop, you want to engage your core. So I imagine putting on freshly washed tight jeans and I zip up. That's really important so you don't bear down on your pelvic floor. I hold the hoop, look, exactly halfway round. I put the hoop on my lower back. I put one leg forward. I turn the hoop away. I keep the hoop in contact with my body. Watch what I do the minute I launch the hoop. I move. And that's where most people go wrong. You think the hoop's going to go on its own. It's not. You've got to kind of push your hips. Can you see what I'm doing? Really gently. Just pushing my hips forward and back, forward and back. Now when I do this, I don't push against the hoop. I don't push against my abdominal wall. I draw up as if I've got a zip, done up tight, and I pull that flush to my body, and I relax my shoulders, and obviously I'm breathing because I'm chatting away to you. And that's how you hoop. Sometimes when you first start learning, you will drop that hoop about 1,000 times. Don't worry, just squat, pick it up and go again. Let me show you the launch again because it is a bit tricky. So look, on my lower back, holding around about halfway, zipping up my tummy, turn the hoop away, keep it on my back, launch and move straight away, pushing forward and back. And don't give up, do not give up. If you've got a little light hoop, it's really hard. If you've got a weighted power hoop, the minute you start moving like so, it's the momentum, my movement and the weight of the hoop that gets this going. A reminder, why am I hooping? If I'm honest, for me, it's so that I can chat away from you. I'm far enough away from the screen so I can't get close to the hoop that I can't see if anyone says anything horrible. And I feel more comfortable chatting away when I can't see myself too clearly. I don't really like standing there staring into the camera. I find it a bit off-putting. I also do it because of course I want to work my core muscles. Without my core muscles being nice and strong, I can't walk, I can't stand, I can't pick things up, I can't roll over in bed, I can't get out of the bath, I can't get out of the car, my back will be uncomfortable. And then from an aesthetics point of view, I would like a flatter tummy and a nipped in waist. So there's many reasons why I like challenging my core, and this is what it's doing. Also, for me personally, I find this really helps reduce my bloating. I'm quite delicately balanced. My stomach bloats incredibly easily. Oh, hold on, sorry, that's Matilda going mental. So I'm hoping she'll stop. And I find it really helps to release that bloating. Matilda! Sorry guys, I've got the door open. Normally I shut the door, but she's obviously been... Do you know what? That's the other thing. I always have chihuahuas. Some of you know this. And I always thought my chihuahuas could be a bit barky. But their little bark sounds like nothing compared to hers. Honestly, her bark goes right through me. It really does. It's lucky she's cute and I love her so much. Matilda! Matilda Hope Staples, come here. As you can see, she's really doing well listening to her. Here she comes. Come on in. You want to come say hello? Can you see that? That is our Matilda. There's a good girl. Don't keep woofing. Be a good girl. Oh, can I just tell you something which is completely irrelevant, has got nothing to do with hooping. My husband found this thing on the computer the other day. I think it's, oh God, I'm not sure. I think it might be October the 12th. I'm not sure on this. There's a sausage dog walk, right? And apparently it's the biggest thing, and it's in somewhere called Southwold. I think we've worked out it's about an hour from us. And everyone goes there with their sausage dogs and does a massive walk. And I think the idea is it's meant to be raising money for IVDD. You know, like sausage dogs quite a lot can have the spinal problems because they're so long, which is funny enough why I never actually wanted one, because you can bet your life I'll end up with one that ends up in wheels. But, you know, it is what it is. I'll love Matilda just as much, just hopefully that doesn't happen to her. But anyway, so I'm going to go on the sausage dog walk, because if anyone's watching me, you've got a sausage dog, come and meet me there. Right, sorry, back to hooping. So yeah, so hooping's pretty damn fantastic. It's going to strengthen your core. It's clinically proven to help reduce your waist to hip ratio. So if you are a person that is more of an apple shape, I know people never say about body types that anymore, but I'm going to say it. I'm definitely more of a pear shaped. I carry more weight around my bum and my thighs, but I still want to work my core. If you're more of an apple shape and you carry a lot of weight around your middle, the good news for you is it's actually easier to get that off than if you're a pear shape like me. However, the bad side is that's a little bit more detrimental to your health when you're carrying a lot of body fat around your middle. But the good news is hooping can really help. It is a little bit more tricky when you carry more weight around your middle, but it can be done. So maybe hooping is that little missing piece of the puzzle for you. Right, I'm going to stop. That was 6 minutes. I'm going to go the other way. Oh, that's the other thing. You've all got a dominant side, and you'll find one side so much easier than the other, but you must hoop both sides. It's really, really, really important. Otherwise you'll end up bent over like a banana, and that would not be good. Right, so we've covered hooping. What this is, Power Hoop Deluxe, why you should hoop, and let's just say there's only a couple of contraindications. If you're pregnant, do not hoop. And if you have degenerative disc issues, hooping's not going to help, I'm afraid. Strengthen your core is, but obviously this motion isn't going to help. So there you go. And if you have got degenerative issues and you want to strengthen your spine, come and join me for Pilates. I teach an express Pilates on a Wednesday. So So only 20 minutes, that might be a nice start for you. And I also teach a 45-minute Pilates via Zoom on a Saturday every week. So maybe that would be something you might like to join. If you do want to know more about that, just stick it in the comments or send me a DM. Right, so we started off with a very, very serious thing because of today's date. And I asked you if you knew where you were 21 years ago. I'm going to be honest, I know exactly where I was 21 years ago, but if you asked me what I was doing this time last week, I actually couldn't tell you. I don't know. Possibly hooping with you, but I don't know. I can't remember. Isn't it bad? So memory is a really interesting thing, and this brings me down to women's health and fitness. Next month is Menopause Awareness Month. Now, things are so much better surrounding menopause now. It's talked about a lot more. It's not just something that women had to go through, or everybody thought that people were having like a midlife crisis, or that women had gone, and this isn't my terms, right, mental. Although, to be honest, although you're not allowed to say that anymore, because, you know, it's not politically correct, you do feel like you're going absolutely nuts sometimes when you're perimenopausal or menopausal, and even when you're beyond. Because even when we're post-menopausal, we still seem to go through that 4-weekly cycle. If you actually chart how your behaviour is, your emotions are, and how your body feels, it's actually quite interesting. So it's really important whether you are perimenopausal, menopausal, or postmenopausal, to just chart sort of symptoms and then to look after yourself. So I'm going to be drip feeding you lots and lots of information throughout the rest of this month, and then when we go into October, I'm going to boom, full on perimenopausal, menopausal and beyond support. To be honest, I do this all the time anyway. I'm a women's health and fitness specialist. That's what I do. I've been teaching for 36 years. So I started when I was 18. I've learned a lot in that time. The instructor I was at 20 is different to the one at 30. The one at 30 is different to the one at 40, and the one I was at 40 is different to the one at 50, because I'm constantly learning and our bodies are constantly changing, and you need to evolve. It's like anything. It's no good just doing training once and then sticking with that whole same thing forever. For me, I'm learning all the time through personal experience as well as through professional experience. So I hope that I can bring quite a lot to the table for you guys, and hopefully that's why you're here. That's why you're watching me today, or you're following my page, or some of you might actually make the step to come and join me. Now, we've got a couple of minutes left. It would be stupid for me not to remind you about Project U. So Project U, I've been running it for 4 years. It started off, I've called it different names, but it was Project U about 4 years ago, and it's a women's holistic health project. So I was doing sort of, you know, like gentle sort of workouts and stuff to encourage women to work out and understand how important it is to train through perimenopause and menopause to support your hormones and not work against them. I've gradually developed this program over the years. So it's now, as it stands now, I offer a 4, 8 or 12 week project. So 4 weeks is just if you're too scared to commit to 12. 8 weeks is sort of somewhere in the middle. And then the 12-week project is kind of, right, it's, yeah, I'm ready, Emma. I've had enough of feeling like this. I've had enough of not feeling happy in my own skin. You know, I've had enough of being tired. Let's do this and let's go. And then we'll end up in December feeling freaking fantastic. So if it's something that you're interested in, let me know. Maybe you haven't seen the post I've been putting up, but basically it's a 360-degree approach. It's trying to put all the pieces of the puzzle together. There isn't a magic pill or a magic cure. And then somebody will watch me go, well, there is. I could take a fat loss jab. But that's only part of it, isn't it? If you've got excess body weight or excess fat you want to reduce, and say you're using the jab at the moment, you still got to look after yourself. You still need to train. You still need to look after your nutrition, because you're not going to stay on the jab forever. And while you're on the jab, it's so important you look after your bone health and your lean muscle mass. So whether you're using the weight loss injections at the moment, whether you're trying to do it without a weight loss injection, wherever you are in your journey, I'm not here to judge, I'm here to help you. And all of us, wherever we are in our journey, whether we do absolutely nothing, whether we train all the time, it doesn't matter. What we need to do is find a way that works for us. We need to have workouts that fit into our busy lives and our schedules. We need wellness, we need healthy habits, we need simple, no-nonsense nutritional advice. We need to know what works for us and what doesn't. We need to manage our stress levels. We need to lower those cortisol levels. We need to look after our nervous system. And we want to thrive and feel energised. Because, you know, let's face it, this life that we live, it goes so freaking fast. And sometimes we're so caught up in the stress of life or just surviving. You know, we're all at different stages of our lives. Some of you have got children and the kids just gone back to school and you might be free and go, yeah. Some of you might be having absolute freaking nightmares getting those little ones into school or those teens into school. You know, and some of you, like me, your children may have left home and you just smother yourself in dogs because you like loving things. But, you know, your life goes through so many different stages, and whatever stage you're at, I want to encourage you to feel fantastic inside and out. It's not just about how we look. How we look is, oh yeah, great. If we can look fit and healthy and thriving and glowing, brilliant. But I want you to feel good from the inside out because we want to have longevity and quality of life. So that's my mission. Anyway, I've now talked for far too long. And the upshot of that was, if you want to know about Project You, if you want to come and join me, I've only got 2 spaces left because I only take on 10 anyway. The reason I do that is, for me, I care so much about all my people. I genuinely want you to do well. And because I give quite a lot and it takes a lot of energy, I don't like spreading myself too thin. So although from a business point of view, it would be lovely if I had 20, 30, 40 people, it'd be great. But from a like emotional, mental, I couldn't do it. So I only have 10 because then the groups don't get overwhelming. You're all in it together and it's a positive thing, not an overwhelming bit. Because if you're stressed out already and then you join a group and there's like loads and loads of people and then there's loads of messages pinging, you're like, oh, I can't cope. And I wouldn't be able to either. So if you want to join, let me know. If you want to know about Pilates, let me know. And if you're just happy to be watching me and getting all these little bits of snippets of health and fitness and general wellness, well, thank you. I'm very glad you're here. I'm just going to check through the comments just in case anybody did answer me. No, no one did that. And let's go over here. I'm always scared to look at the comments on TikTok because sometimes they're a bit mean. But let's have a quick look. Have we got anything? No, lots of people watching today. No one's commented today, so that's interesting. So when you watch this later, guys, if you want to talk to me, put some comments in there. Always go back and check them. So I would love to know where you were, if you know where you were, 24 years ago today. And I want to know how you're doing today. And if you do want any help, if you want to know anything about what I've said today, give me a shout, let me know. Drop me a message, comment below, whatever you'd like to do. But thank you for watching. Have the best day and I'll see you all soon. Bye, guys. Just having to turn